Hello, everybody. It's your girl, Maddie from Top Rope Squishy. I'm here to bring you AEW Dynamite recap from yesterday, which was March 10th. But before I get started, check out the new merch. Look at this. This merch is dropping soon, okay? This is hot fire. Make sure you get it. I love it. It's probably like my favorite design so far. My husband is a genius. So yeah, and if you don't already, subscribe please to my channel. New content drops weekly. And if you don't already, please follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Top Rope Squishy. So let's get started because yesterday's Dynamite was insane. We started with a Matt Jackson versus Rey Fenix match, and I knew this match was going to be incredible, and it was. These guys, you know, the Young Bucks are not like typically my favorite tag team, but I will not deny that they have ultimate skills. I mean, these guys, they are incredible. And the same thing with the Lucha Bros. I mean, Rey Fenix, he defies gravity in itself. So, you know. The shocker, though, was I had predicted that Matt Jackson would take it and Rey Fenix won. So that is incredible. I loved that finish. I love that they let Rey Fenix get the win. Great match. Great freaking match. But then Cody came out and he had a squash match against Seth Gargis. It was maybe like 2 minutes long, if that, and it was just basically Cody beating on his ass. Cody wins, but what happened next was what was good. It was when Penta came out and pretty much called out Cody, telling him, you know, you think you're the prince of wrestling. Well, if you're the prince of wrestling, I'm the lord of wrestling. And he basically, you know, told them that he's going to mess up his arm so bad that he's not going to be able to hold his newborn child. And that set Cody off. And so now we're going to get a Cody versus Penta match. I'm so happy we're getting so much Lucha Bros, so much Death Triangle. I'm so happy. But yeah, that's happening on the next Dynamite. Then Sting came out to talk, but he got interrupted by Murder Hawk. So I'm guessing that that's a new feud that's going to be built, which is great because I love me some Murder Hawk. And Ethan Page versus Lee Johnson. So there was an audio issue when this match came out. And I don't know about you, but I couldn't take it. Like, I couldn't listen to the basketball game that was playing in the background, the commentators, the stuff that was going on in the ring, and it was just so much noise. I pretty much tuned out during this match, but I had a feeling that my man Lee Johnson was going to lose to Ethan Page, you know, his first single debut. They're not going to let Ethan Page lose, of course not. So it was a loss for Lee Johnson, and Ethan Page took it. I can't really say much about it because I quite frankly did not really pay attention to it. Thankfully, the audio issue was fixed. The shocker, though, about this match, this I did notice. When Lee Johnson lost, QT Marshall disappeared. And if you recall, at the Revolution, at the tag team battle royale, when Dustin and QT were inside the ring, Dustin and QT had like a little disagreement, and QT decided, you know what, taking myself out this match, and he jumped over the top rope and eliminated himself. So I think QT just done turned heel, or is showing his true colors, and is probably done with the Nightmare family. So to be continued. I wonder where that's gonna go. Then they did a little clip with Hangman, Adam Page, and the Dark Order, and now Allin Angels is like the reject. He's like the one that nobody wants to be around. So they all jumped on the lawnmower with Hangman, but Hangman was like, "There's a weight limit," and told Allin Angels that he couldn't get on. I just love everything that's happening with Hangman Page and the Dark Order. I really want him to join, but if he continues on in this capacity, I'm okay with that too. Oh yeah, so then there was like a promo with Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. I loved it. That is long storytelling, because this story was completely fleshed out from the beginning, and where it has ended as of right now, I love it. They're friends again, and you know, Butcher and the Blade are no longer with Eddie Kingston. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But yeah, they did this whole promo, and of course they were making, you know, insinuating that the explosion that happened at the end of Revolution was a setup. Don Callis and the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega also came out to say, you know, that it was a setup. They just wanted to make John Moxley and Eddie Kingston look stupid. Eddie explained that he has like PTSD, so he thought that they were gonna really explode. I guess he passed out. I don't know. But I love how they spinned it. They had to do something to spin it. I mean, they couldn't just ignore it. So obviously they were gonna make fun of themselves, and you know, and that's great. You gotta respect them for that. They, you know they fucked up and they're making fun of themselves now. But it was great. I absolutely loved it. And I loved that John Moxley came out, you know, to help Eddie Kingston and whooped on the Good Brothers, because you know what? I want to see Eddie Kingston and John Moxley whoop on the Good Brothers in their match next week. So yeah, that's coming up for next week, Dynamite. Christian Cage came out. He was the special signee that Big Show was talking about. I don't know. You know, I don't know if people are excited about that or not. I hadn't been in wrestling for 10 years up until 2019. So, you know, I missed the whole Christian Cage era. But people seem to be excited about it. I don't know. But they seem to be insinuating that he's going to be making a run for the belt. You know, because he held it up and, you know, there was no language there. But from everything that they did, that's what it seemed. That's where it was going. But I'm one of those people who I'm okay if Christian Cage doesn't get the belt. I think there are other male wrestlers in AEW that are probably way more better choices to take on the AEW championship. So I'm just saying. So yeah, talking about Butcher and the Blade. So Matt Hardy contracted Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny to join them now. And what's crazy is I thought he was going to do that with the hybrid too, with TH2, but that didn't happen. And I don't know if you noticed, but Mark Quinn is just getting more and more pissed off every time that Matt Hardy does something new. And I'm just waiting for him to blow up on Matt Hardy. Wonder what's going to happen with Private Party. Okay, so then we had the 6-woman tag team match. It's probably the match that I was waiting the most for, but most of it happened in picture-in-picture. So I feel like we missed a good majority of it. I mean, how do you put this match on picture-in-picture? You have like the biggest female names in wrestling. It was hurtful. It really hurt my soul. I really wanted to see, you know, these women in my screen, and I was like struggling because there's 6 of them. I was struggling to see it in that little sidebar. From what I saw, the match was great. I knew Thunder and Shida and Ryo Mizunami were going to take it, because every time that Thunder has gone up against Britt Baker in one capacity or another, she has lost. And I figured this would be her first win. But how great is it? Because she pinned Maki Itoh. Thunder got the pin on Maki Itoh. It's great. And then, of course, Britt Baker, you know, after the match was over, gave Thunder the lockjaw. And so now, how great is this? We're getting another Thunder versus Britt Baker match. But this is going to be Dynamite's main event. And it's an anything goes lights out match. I'm so excited. I am so excited. I cannot wait. I can't think who's going to win. I think maybe Britt, maybe not. But you'll have to tune into Squishtradamas to find out who I really think is going to be taking it. And then, of course, Darby versus Sky for the TNT belt. I knew Darby was going to retain. But this match was pretty good. What happened at the end? That was the shocker. I mean, this Dynamite was just full of shocks. Did Scorpio Sky go heel? Looks like he did. His face was a little contorted. He looked a little crazy. And he started beating on Darby, or putting his ankle into some kind of lock, after the belt. And that is not what he does. But he looked very happy with himself afterwards. So I'm thinking we got ourselves a heel Sky. I'm all for it. 100% all for it. And then the last part of Dynamite, which was the Inner Circle War Console. Oh my God. I could not have predicted any of that except that FTR and Spears were going to be part of a faction, Four Horsemen faction. That MJF was going to be a part of that, could not have predicted it. My husband did, though. Last year, he mentioned it to me, and I was like, oh, there's no fucking way. There's no way. I thought it was going to be Cody. So, yeah, what happened? Sammy shows up. Turns out the Inner Circle knew that MJF was trying to take over, you know, betray Jericho. And in a shocking twist, it seems that MJF was onto them and started to form this faction on the side, which also includes Wardlow and Tully. What? I am shocked. I am excited. I cannot wait to see what's going to come out of this. Once everything was revealed and all of a sudden the new faction, you know, lights went out, the lights came back on, the faction, MJF's new faction was on the stage. They ended up whooping the Inner Circle. They even cuffed Santana and Ortiz and, you know, landed them on their heads. Sammy Guevara went through a chair. His head went through a chair. Jericho was suplexed onto some tables by Wardlow, and MJF cut him open with the diamond ring in his forehead. Things are really getting spicy. So really excited to see where this goes. This is how Dynamite ended yesterday, and now I'm like, holy shit, like, now what? The original Inner Circle's back together. Did you guys notice that Sammy came out of the babyface side? Does this mean that Inner Circle is now turning face? Oh, so many questions. Listen, I want to know what you think. So please drop me a comment. And once again, if you do not subscribe, please subscribe to my channel. Hit like, drop me a comment. I always try to respond to my comments, even if I don't get to them on the same day. And new content drops weekly. So please, 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 and if you get a chance, check out the merch. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Top Rope Squishy. That's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm out.